Hello, dear yogis. Lovely to see you. Welcome to week 7 of Hummingbird with one more week to go after this, and then that's the 8 weeks. And then I'm concurrently running the next package program, which I said was going to be called Kingfisher last week. And as I was creating images, Kingfisher was not settling and was not happening, and then it all came in the end with a little help from a friend, and it is called Swallow. So Swallow program is the next one. So I hope you enjoyed last week and the extras, and what you'll need today is a belt or 2 or 3 ties knotted together, or a scarf, and you'll need a chair and maybe a wall to hold on to, or that's all that you need today. So I'm going to go straight in, and we're going to begin with a poem, and it's called Otter. And it's by Robert Macfarlane, who also wrote last week's poem as well. So you could sit to begin with for this practice, and just sitting comfortably as we'll be going into a short meditation straight afterwards. So sitting is a good place to be. And you can choose, as I always say, any of the positions, or if you need to, you can sit on an edge of the chair, whatever it is that you feel happy to do, or cross leg, wide leg, lotus. So finding your sitting bones and settling, and coming to your breath. To feel, to sense your body, your perimeter, where you touch space and air all around you, and earth and sky. Feel your spine, sense your spine all the way through your center, and the very end of your spine that connects to the ground, and the top of the head above the top of the spine, so that the neck and head is long as it can be, as you breathe. And allow yourself to shift and move if you need to shift a little, and get yourself really easing the areas that are showing up to you at the moment. It's fine. Let them show you the way to release them. A gentle air that moves in and out in any way it describes itself to you at this time. So whether that's instantly light, breezy, easy, or whether it feels a little bit discordant and difficult to take in and out because there's been lots going on and it's taking time to settle. What does it show you today? And just imagining that sort of chainmail cape, that heavy cape on the shoulders that just grounds you, but still your spine is able to be tall. as I read to you Otter by Robert Macfarlane. Listening to every word, taking in all that you can. Otter. Otter enters river without falter. What a supple slider out of halt and into water. This shape shifter's a sheer breath taker, a sure heart stopper, but you'll only ever spot a shadow flutter, bubble skein, and never, almost never, actual otter. This swift swimmer's a silver miner. With trout its oar it bores each black pool deep and deeper, delves up current steep and steeper, turns the water inside out, then inside outer. Ever dreamed of being otter, that utter underwater thunderbolter, that shimmering twister? Run to the riverbank, otter dreamer, slip your skin and change your matter, pour your outer being into otter, and enter now as otter, without falter, into water. Gently relax your eyelids more. Breathe that air in. Breathe out. And sense the top of your skull easing, relaxing. And this then triggers a message down through the skull, through the inside, through the outside, like a purifying breath that leads down through the head, through the throat. And it's passed behind and in front of the face and the back of the skull and the side of the skull. And the breath passes down through the shoulders that are present with that chainmail kind of resting, deepening the release down of the shoulders, and through the body the breath flows down like a river, just cleansing into tributaries through to arms, through wrists, hands, into the fingers, through the fingers. So an avenue of release is already created. So out through your busy, often our hands are so busy, but now they can just be so quiet and rested that the air, like that gentle river, just flowing through the fingers, enabling you to just let go of what might be held within, washed down, washed through and down through the torso, washing through every part of your being, through your lungs, through your heart, through your energy centers, through your organs, through the pelvis, into the base of your being, washing through, clearing, cleansing through, separating into the tributaries of the legs. Freely moving your energy. A shift already taking place, just like the otter shifting in the water. Down, 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 through to the feet and out through the soles of the feet and through the toes, through the heels, through the back of the heels, through the back of the legs. Breathing away all that's no longer needed anymore. And in tune with the river, the mumbling breath just beginning to flow down your spine, and at the very end of the sound, it's as if your body becomes more connected to the earth. But just ease your ear towards your shoulder and lift the crown of the head back towards the sky as you come up, and then lean your ear towards the right shoulder and lift up as if you're truly becoming awake into your body. And you can do that again each side, just leaning the ear towards the shoulder and relaxing, spreading through the back of the neck and the back of the skull as you lift up back to the center, and feel that space emerging through the center of your being, through the neck, through the head, as if somebody is or something is just drawing up through the center of the scalp, lifting your head from here, taking hold of a few hairs on the top of your head if you have some, or just gathering the energy and lifting up, and so that you can open through the back of the skull and slightly drop the chin before going over to the other side. So the hand can come down. It's just like an imagining of like that drawing up through, like an energetic drawing up as the head just leans and grows tall. And as you come to the center, the chin just dropping down and the head just wobbling on the top of, on the very top of the spine. A very free wobble that might not feel free to start with. So like a real sort of wibble from side to side. Or even kind of like a figure of 8 with the chin a little as you kind of wobble and free up through the neck. And then a big smiling feeling draws underneath the chin. It might seem like a bit like a gurn. as you wobble the head from side to side, or do that figure of 8. And still the crown of the head is being pulled upwards, and the chin draws down towards the chest a little as it draws that figure of 8. And breathe. And come to the center and just ease into stillness. Smiling back underneath the chin. Oh. You can make a noise, you can and the tongue can start to spread in the mouth. And can you imagine first, and then see if you can enable a vacuous space into the roof of your mouth. So by making a sound like opening the mouth to see if you can create that lift through the center of the head. And then you might then start to access that inner space so that the ears might feel as if they have more space between them than they did before. And then the forehead, just sense a softening around the third eye space, and just above the eyebrows, third eye in the center, and just giving this area just a sense of breadth and width. As you exhale, this space widening, and then a reminder of the sense of the crown of the head lifting, and then taking your attention with your next exhalation all the way down the spine to the end of the tailbone. Grounding the tailbone and all of your body that touches the earth. And then inhaling, allowing the breath to come in through the face, and then the mumbling breath begins to flow down the spine until all the air runs out, and then the new breath is there. Very light, very easy. Then the new breath comes in again. Just an easy breath, and then the sound starts and travels down through your spine, touching over the magic thread as the sound conveys deeper and deeper down into the base of your being eventually. And your body, the base of your body transforms, really travels, deepens its connection to the ground. At the end of the out-breath, follow that sound with your awareness. Really be fascinated. And then just start to tap either side of the sternum. Still making the sound, allowing that sound to flow through you. tapping underneath the collarbones. From the inside of the collarbone underneath to the edge of the collarbones. So going right into the center, might be a sort of dip, and then really tapping with some strength or circling with your fingers underneath the collarbones. And you might find some areas that feel like they could do with some work with your touch. And that beautiful buzzing sound of the bumblebee that flows through you and starts to cleanse. And the long exhalations that provide a huge trigger of healing in your body. Literally setting off positive chemicals in your being to bring a brighter, more positive way of being. Switching off, angst, turning on that sense of freedom and release. And the lips that have just that little space, and it's like the letter B. And you can change this. You can make it stronger or weaker depending on what you feel like. Sometimes I do this so lightly and it sends me into a very, a meditation space that feels wonderful. And sometimes I feel the need to really let go with the sound, and so it becomes loud. One more sound. Hands sinking down. Rest into this space. And in a moment or two, just taking your hands to your eyes, crossing your fingers over in your forehead, opening your eyes into the palms, separating the fingers and bringing the hands down onto the lap or down, and then so that your eyes will now be open. Just preparing you to come back to this space of full visual awareness and to your breath. And just taking your time, but knowing from here in a minute, just in a few moments, we're going to rise up to standing with your socks off. As you stand and feel your ever widening feet on the floor, let your toes lift and spread. Allow the arms to just swing. Let them just draw out and shake and up to the sky and forward and down, as if again you're shaking out and just freeing yourself. Really relaxing your upper arms as you lift them, and just sensing the shoulders and the shoulder blades, allowing this freedom out through the arms, releasing between your neck and your shoulders. And then as you stand with the feet just slightly wider now, allow your right ear to begin to relax towards the right shoulder, but allow your knees to bend. Allow the knees to bend. And then you can just allow that movement to, we looked at this last week, allow that to keep going. And the other arm can be soft, and the long hanging arm, hanging arm can really rest, and the knees are soft and bent with the toes spread, and the feeling the sides of the feet on the floor, and then just rising up again as if someone's lifting you through the crown of the head as you breathe. And then just same side again, just rolling that, and then the opposite arm lifts out a little, flows up and down, and just goes to where it feels. Soften in the elbow and bend the elbow. The knees are bending, so there's freedom, and letting that arm maybe travel just wherever it feels that it wants to go. And it might travel over towards the ear and over the head. Lovely. Breath. And then reaching back, over and down. Soften the knees, just roll up onto your toes. Lifting the heels, sinking the heels down, and then allowing the center of the soles of the feet to lift up. So there's an opening through the center of the soles of the feet, and the little toes go out to the side as you breathe. And then tall and long, the ear travels towards the left shoulder, so we're going to the opposite side, and the knees are soft. The knees are soft, giving the body permission to remain fluid, and just traveling over and then lifting through the spine back to the center, and then traveling over and lifting back as you breathe. And then we can go again, just moving through any barriers as we open up through that opposite side, the arms free, and releasing between the neck and the shoulder and the arms, and then coming back up for a moment, and then we can repeat with the opposite arm lifting this time. So opening up through the side of the body, opening up, lifting, and feeling the armpit space, gaining space and width. It's a bit like a wave going over the head and back down, over, feeling the side ribs expanding and opening. Now you can make it into a circle if that feels better, or you can just open and sweep and then draw back to the center. And lifting both of the heels off the floor and then sinking down. And then placing your 2 cushions onto the chair, Angela. We're going to have a chair with softness. And then just standing maybe 2.5 paces away, 2.5 sort of feet distance away from the chair. Standing tall, standing really, really tall, and just feeling your breath. Allow the knees to soften, and then allowing a forward bend to flow towards that chair, with very little tension in the legs and shoulders as you travel. So we're going to be leaning the forearms onto the chair. So you might need to go a bit further forward. And so you're going to be really leaning your forearms. Go a little bit closer to the chair, Angela. And maybe turning the palms down. And then breathing. Now you can hold on to the back of the chair if that feels helpful. And just becoming very, very soft through the body. And spread the toes once more. And allow the knees to bend and feel the back of the thighs spreading. And now breathe. You will feel a little tension in the legs, maybe up through the back of the legs. But just, and this is like a helpful release as we relax the fascia, the covering of the muscles through the legs, through the pelvis. And your shoulders become more and more relaxed as you rest, with the center of the head in line with the spine. And as you hold your hands hold maybe the back of the chair or onto the cushion, you're just growing your pelvis behind you as your knees bend more so. So the knees bend if possible, more so, sending the pelvis back. So it's almost a bit like positive traction. And so breathe. And allowing the solar plexus to really rest. And then take your hands all the way down. Well, they don't have to go all the way down to the floor. We want the hands to be very redundant, really, and very relaxed. And the insides of the arms, and if there's any, you know that you can come up whenever you need to. But allow the pelvic, if like just come up, we have been there longer maybe than we normally are. And if you do have any feelings of tension or pressure in the head, of course, come up when you need to. Just heading back for me for a moment, Angela, to just the full forward bend. We're only going to be here a few seconds. And just releasing. And to come up, just feel the heels dropping. And the little toes out to the side. And then just see if there's any sense of connecting to the pelvic floor or the perineum if you're a man. So that if you can feel the heels dropping, and then as the heels drop, you start to rise up, and there's a sense through the center of the pelvic floor, rising, and through the diaphragm, and through the spine to the top of the head. Eyes open. And just for a few moments, we're just going to feel the left leg. And do feel free to shake out your feet if you feel any pressure at all in the ankles. And Angela's just doing a wonderful thing by lifting onto the ball. I'll just move the camera so you can see. Onto the ball of the feet, and just rolling the ball of the feet on the floor from left to right. And the toes start to elongate and spread as well. And just free up ankles. Ankles can get very tight sometimes. And then as you stand, just let the shoulders ease. Feeling the planted left foot as if a magnet is underneath it as your right leg floats to the chair and lengthens all the way out, so the sole of the foot is going to talk to the back of the chair. So the leg lengthens out straight, so the back of the knee is open. And feel the foot on the floor, the heel sinking to the earth. That long length through the standing leg and for the leg that's lengthened out. And the toes spread on the chair. And breathe. And play with the arms. Now, do the arms want to do anything? Do you feel like drawing the arms out to the side or lifting them to the sky? What is it that you feel? Maybe it's the cactus shape, elbows out to the side. Breath. Maybe you might want to turn a little. You might not. Just an inch or two. Just beautiful. Just a tiny roll until you come back to the center. Release the arms, grow tall, feel that standing foot, and then slip that leg down and free up where you need to free up. And we're going to plant the right leg. So we feel the heel sinking to the earth, the ball of the right foot sinking to the earth, the toes spreading, and the arch of the right foot lifting. Let the air in. Soften through the shoulders. Imagine a windsock through the center of your being that is starting to receive the air within, and that windsock starts to expand. And then float the left leg onto the chair. And just see if one side feels different to the other. Does this feel easier, harder? Feel that windsock again through your center as you release your jaw, your mouth, around your ears. Freedom within. Then playing with the arms when you feel steady and stable. So we do these movements so it becomes helpful, so it becomes freeing. If anything feels like it's tightening around the shoulders, for example, then just let it go. Just let go and just play with a little balance of turning one way and then the other if that feels positive. And then, we can do the cactus arms, the arms down, the arms up in the air, all with breath. And then sinking down. And very lightly lifting that left leg off the chair. Easing. And then just turning forward to face this direction back onto the mat. And we're just going to get the arms flowing a bit like an ape. So like this. So flowing and sort of really shaking out through this sort of ape-like movement. With your breath. And releasing the arms down. And then taking a wide step. A big wide step if that feels possible for you. And just feeling the toes widening. Tall and long and settled through the feet. And that sense of breath through the center of your being. And then flowing down into the forward bend slowly. Lifting over the top of the femur heads and relaxing the insides of the thighs and taking the arms out in front of you, maybe one at a time, like an elephant's trunk. Reaching forward, release the head down a little so the center of the head is in a communication with the spine. And rolling onto the outer edges of the feet a bit more, and then just becoming still with the arms out in front. And if the hands can touch the floor or the fingers can touch the floor, or if you have block, you can have a block on the floor if that helps. Just experiencing that for a few moments. And then bending your left knee over your left ankle So I call this one like the Spider-Man stretch. So the one leg stays straight and long if you can. Um, and so your right knee is going to bend, Angie, and the left leg is going to straighten. And the fingers sweep along the floor from side to side as you travel. Now we all have different things going on with our bodies, and I'm just, asking Angela to do these things. And sometimes we might not, for our body it might not feel great, or it might feel wonderful. So I'm just going to be led by Angie to see how it feels for her. And I think having a really wide step can be quite helpful. And coming back to the center, and then inhale and rising up through the spine. And walking the feet in, and then coming down onto the floor into the child. And you can use, again, the cushions or the blankets on the floor under the head if you need anything, or you can even have your hands or arms underneath the forehead if that helps. And just enjoying, if you can, and if the child doesn't work for you, you could lie on a big pile of cushions, or you could come onto the front body if you prefer. Imagine the breath is like water going over the back, down from the pelvis all the way over the back of the neck and the head to the ground. Breathing in, just breathing out the air over the back of the body like a slide, and you can make a sound. Just easing any tension out as you rest in your child. Breathe it out. What tension might there be within that you can move out with sound? Emptying the tummy. Emptying the tummy as you rest. As soon as you need to come up, you can come to all fours when you've had enough of the child pose. And as you rise, just letting the weight drop through the arms, just letting any sense of holding through the arms soften, and release your jaws. Breathe into your face space. Breathe into the floating ribs. Feel the weight going down the thighs. And allow your body to travel a little forward and back, moving with your spine, the spine enjoying this opportunity to grow towards the heels and over the hands, and towards the heels and over the hands. The insides of the arms softening. Release your buttocks. Empty your thighs of any busyness. Relax the back of your neck. And then drawing a few circles with the pelvis going around to the right, and then forward, and then around and around and around. And feel your belly releasing, and your wrists and hands. Is there any tension you can dissolve out of your wrists and hands? And you can make this as active as you like. You can get really springy with this, or it can be very slow and mindful. You know, just play with it to create what you need. And you can go, and we can all go in the opposite direction when you're ready, with your breath flowing and your active feet, the toes spreading out, the top of the feet really touching the earth. When you feel you've done an equal amount of circles each side, you just return to the forward and back for a few more seconds of the spine heading back. Drop the chin slightly, just a bit, just a little bit. Lovely breath. And then you're going to eventually go all the way forward onto your tummy. So you're moving, and the front of the hips attract to the earth, and then heading down onto the ground where the spine begins to rest. And feel the movement of your spine. If I've got a back problem, it's often this that I'll come to just notice where my spine is moving and where it isn't moving. Let the weight of your being be completely given to the earth. Exhale any tiredness, any heaviness, any worries, just let them dissolve. And then feel how, the beautiful, wonderful, flowing spine moves as you rest. And with the arms out long, allow the arms to reach out. As you breathe in with the exhalation, your left arm and your right leg are going to lift at the same time. And a diagonal connection it will be made towards the fingertips and the toes. So just lifting, breathing, sinking, lifting, breathing, and sinking. And you can do the alternate side each time you move. One more each side. And allowing the elbows to widen and draw to the very side of the body in the air. As you plant the top of the feet as if they are joined to the earth. And then drawing the chin down as if you're looking to your underside. And then allowing the top of the head to draw forward as if it's lengthening forward. And then the elbows draw back, and this might lift the head and shoulders. And then sinking back down, drawing the chin into the chest. And then draw the elbows and the wrists back first. So the elbows are being drawn like magnets back, and then that might lift the head up. So the elbows and the wrists draw back first. Draw them back, and does this have a response then with the spine? And the chin tucking in at the end, and then allow everything to attract to your center. And your sitting bones draw towards each other, and the feet make that super connection with the floor. Breathing, breathing, breathing into the cobra. Feel how the spine flows in this position. That gathering, that rising. And if the feet rise, send them down. Send them back down to the earth. And slowly resting back to the ground. Taking the arms out, releasing through the ankles and the soles of your feet. And coming back to the feeling of the flowing spine as you rest. Imagine the warmth of the sun on your back, the sun on your back body, the palms of your hands relaxing and your fingers. To have the time to absorb what's just taken place after a posture is a wonderful thing. And then gently tucking the toes under, bringing the hands back, sending the pelvis back to the heels, and drawing back into the child with wide knees and feet touching. So it's a bit like a frog kind of position with the wide knees and the toes touching. And just melt, melt, melt. And rising up to high kneeling, if that's possible. Do you need a blanket underneath your knees, Angie? No. I'm just rising up and feeling the connection of the feet behind you and the knees, and then notice all the way from the knees to the top of the head as your shoulders begin to ease and your arms float up to the sky, and there's a sense of drawing behind a little with the arms as the elbows widen and we go back and forth, and the thighs are beginning to move. Angie's body has tuned into gravity, and this is called the camel, and you'll see why from this movement. It's a bit like, it's quite camel-esque really, the movement of the thighs going back and forward as you embrace gravity underneath you, and you really set the shoulders, the arms into motion and freedom, and allowing them to really widen out to the side and encircle as the thighs are drawing forward and then back. The spine is growing, the spine is lifting through the waistline to the crown of the head, and the feet are remaining with this wonderful connection. And the arms can then travel down and just wriggle your fingers towards your heels. Wriggle your fingers towards your heels, and that's the direction in which the hands can travel. Now, some of you, you might easily take your hands to your heels. Others, it might be 2 foot away. But the important thing is that you remain long in the spine rather than squashing the spine in any way. And then the arms could lift back up to the sky, down towards the heels, the thighs traveling forward and back. And when you're ready, coming back into the child for a moment. If you need to turn that light to the wall, if it's too much in the face, then you feel free to do that, Angie. Breath. Are you all right to be on all fours again, Angie?
Yeah.
Yeah. Rising up to all fours once more. And again, sinking the weight through the arms and through the hands as you release your upper arms and breathe. Imagine your fingers sinking and widening into sand. And feel the base of the fingers on the floor. Feel the heels of your hands. And let your shoulders be free and light and not involved. And then allow the toes to tuck under. And feel the air flowing in. And as you exhale, sending the pelvis to the sky. The arms might need to go a little further out in front so they're not sort of directly underneath the shoulders as you arrive in the dog. Now, the beauty of the dog is that you can do the dog like this, or you can use a chair. And what I'd like you to imagine as you feel your left hand dropping a left arm, dropping into the earth. Feel the right foot dropping into the earth, the right heel dropping into the earth. Now, I'm just going to describe this to you as you can come down whenever you need to, or you can stay and continue. So just dropping, dropping, dropping through the hands and through the heel, and feel that opposite connection. And then change to the other side and feel the opposite heel and the other hand. So the diagonal has changed. Breathe, release the head and neck. And you can just explore the dog if you need to explore. If you'd like to explore further, feel free to do so. If you want to come onto your back, then you can come onto your back body and hug the knees. Whatever it is you feel the need to do. But if you do want to stay in the dog a little longer, then allow both knees to bend as the pelvis rolls back to the wall behind you. And let your shoulders become lighter and lighter. And lift the very center of the palms of the hands. Now breathe, breathe, breathe. Again, it could be like the water slide of breath down the spine. Release your jaws and shoulders. And in a few moments, coming back into the child if you're still doing the dog, and then we'll come onto your back body. And this is where a belt is going to be needed. And the belt is, that's it. Just take the arms to the height of the shoulders for a moment, and we'll just hug them across the chest. And you're going to need quite a space to the left and the right of you for this practice. So you might want to be right over and away from a wall. And so just the arms start out on the floor, completely dropping through the shoulders. And the jaws are soft. Inhale. And then lift the hands, wrists, elbows, upper arms, and hug right across. And rest the hands to the floor, towards the floor. Turn the head side to side. Just breathe in, softening. Feel the contact of your feet. Feel the contact of the pelvis. Head comes back to the center. Feel the back of the heart space connecting to the earth as you breathe in. And with the exhale, the arms come all the way out, back to the earth at the height of the shoulders. And we remember which elbow was on top. And the knees just move left and right, just allowing this easing of the spine. Knees back to the center. Inhale. And now we notice we focus back to the hands as the hands lift, the wrists, the elbows, the upper arms, and that sense of spreading, opening through the back of the shoulder blades as you hug the arms across the chest, one elbow on top of the other, away from the throat space, so that the throat is not shadowed in any way. And then turning the head from side to side. Relax the tongue as the head comes back to the center. Inhale. And lift and float the arms back onto the floor. And you can then think about taking the belt into your hands and wrapping it around the balls of both feet and sending both legs into the air. And what we're looking for is the belt to be, so the arms are going to be long in the air towards your feet. So the belt's going to be very short, Angie, and the arms are long towards the feet. That's it. And the shoulders just easing, easing, easing down. Breath. Soften the forehead. And the thigh bones dropping down into the pelvis. And just allow the legs to rock a little left and right. And if you want to take the legs a little wider, if that feels better, which feels better, Angie? With a bit wider.
Yeah.
And just rocking a few seconds. And drawing the legs back to the center with the, and now you're going to take the belt, both sides of the belt, into the right hand, and the legs stay long. And actually do it into the other hand, because then we'll see if you've got enough room the other side. I've done it wrong. I've said it wrong. I'm sorry. If I get you to lengthen your legs again to the sky, and put the belt into the right hand, and the left arm goes out at the height of the shoulders, and then you're going to very slowly, in fact, bend your knees at this point. And allow the legs to travel out to the right side of the body, the opposite direction to the left arm, and traveling wherever they're happy to travel. And it might be all the way to the ground, it might not. And then just sinking your left arm and your right arm and your top thigh and the feet. Maybe if you put the block in between your knees, or there. Yeah, see if that helps the feet. And breath. And just releasing through the shoulders. Now it's possible to do that movement that we were just looking at there with the legs long. Now I didn't feel it was quite right when I was observing it to keep the legs long, so I suggested bending them because that's a bit easier on the spine. But if it feels great to you, you could explore that, keeping the legs straight, and experiencing, supporting the legs all the way down in a long, straight way. So, breath. And in a few moments, you're going to come back to the center. And you're going to gather your belly and draw back to the center, and then place the belt back around the feet and lengthen the legs to the sky. And then the belt is going to go over into the left hand, and the right arm is going to draw out to the right. Again, you have to have loads of space for the legs to extend over to the side. So I'm going to give you the choice, Angie, of whether you want to bend the legs or keep them straight as you roll. And then sinking through that right shoulder. And the holding of the belt gives you that support as you travel. So you can have quite a sort of taut hold of the belt, so that you're really supported as you travel over. Then in a lying spiral, resting and breathing and softening. Melting, melting, melting. Releasing the hips, your arms, your shoulders, jaws, throat, buttocks, inner thighs, diaphragm. If you found that the belt wasn't helpful, or you didn't enjoy it so much with the belt, we're just going to, you can have a choice of using the belt to come back. But if your legs are straight, then bend them to bring them home back over the belly. Or we can just leave the belt behind at this point and come back normally with the knees over the belly. And as you return, just gently rock from side to side. And then with this rocking, I'd like it to take you back into the spiral without belts, without any props, and allow the head to go one way and the legs to travel the other, supported by the one arm. And as you come to the floor, let your, if the legs have gone over to the right, for example, let your left arm rest on top of the top thigh. Sorry, Angie, if you open out for me again. The arm nearest me just rests on top of your knee or thigh, and just gives a weight to the pelvis. to ground through the pelvis. And just imagine that ripple breathing. As if a droplet just falls in to the center of your being and then just expands out like a ripple. Just clearing away anything at all in its path. Then gathering your belly, in a few moments, rolling back, taking the legs to the other side and the head the opposite direction to the legs. And air, feel that air flowing in. On the other hand, the left hand can hold the knee and plant. And then just imagine that droplet drawing in and the ripple breathing. Easing, clearing anything old and unnecessary. When you're ready, you could come back to the center. Just draw a few circles with the knees in the air. And then we'll prepare to come to a sitting position of your choice with socks on, warmer things on. When you've had time to circle a few times one way, a few times the other. Take your time to rest on your side before you come up. And you can sit against a wall, or I haven't got much wall space in my house, but there's a nice radiator to lean up against. Make sure the base of the pelvis is up against the upright of the wall as you sit tall. And we're just going to have a look at Nadi Shodhana, alternate nostril breathing. So it's really good to blow your nose beforehand for this practice if you need to. It's a fantastic pranayama practice. It's really helpful in reducing anxiety, can help increasing concentration. It really improves energy, gives you energy, shifts energy, balances out the two hemispheres of the brain. So if you feel a bit, sometimes I can observe people in the street and, somebody might be really leaning to the left when they're walking without even noticing. And, it really shows our brain really leads us. It really helps with heart function, fantastic for helping with our allergies, supporting allergies and sinus problems, helps balance the blood pressure, and also helps with acidity. Sometimes we can be quite acidic, our blood can be acidic, and it can help balance that out as well. Helps to induce sleep and calm the mind. So there's a number of things that alternate nostril breathing can do. So first of all, if you just breathe in, I'm just going to move the camera, so bear with me a sec, just breathing normally for a little while. Natural breath, flowing in, flowing out. And just ease your shoulders. And we take the hand, the arm to the face, the hand to the face, rather than the face to the hand, so that we can keep that lovely spine tall. Place the two fingers in the forehead. I'm going to use the thumb and the third finger to close off the nostrils alternately. So to start with, just breathe in through both nostrils, breathe out through both nostrils. And then close the right nostril with the thumb. Inhale through the left. Close with the third finger, release the thumb, exhale right. Inhale right. Close with the thumb, open the other side, exhale left. And then close the right nostril, inhale through the right. Close with the thumb, exhale left. Inhale through the left. Exhale through the right. Close the right nostril, inhale through the left. Close left, open right, exhale right. Inhale through the right. Close, exhale through the left. Close the left, inhale through the right. Close, exhale left. Inhale through the left. Exhale through the right. And then just release the hand for a moment and just breathe in normally through both nostrils. So that's one way of doing it. You could pause the video here and carry on with that version if you like. Or you can stay and just breathing normally for a couple of breaths in through both nostrils, out through both nostrils. And then we bring the fingers back to the forehead. And you're going to close off the right nostril with the thumb and inhale through the left. And exhale through the left. Close the left nostril, open the right. Inhale through the right. Exhale through the left. Close left, close right, open left. Inhale left. Exhale left. Close. Inhale through the right. Exhale through the right. Close. Open the other side. Inhale. Exhale. Close. Inhale through the right. Exhale right. Again, inhale left. Exhaling, closing, and then inhale through the right. Exhale right. Now keep going just a little longer if you feel okay. If you have any light-headed feelings, then just stop. And just ensure that you're taking all the breath in that wants to come. Really experience the full inhalation. And then exhale completely, letting all the air out. And not hurrying to change to the other side. You know, you might experience a moment or two before the other side, you're ready to do the other side. And then completely relax the hand away from the face. Breathing in normally. The in-breath and the out-breath. And now we'll come to rest. Resting and breathing for the last part of the session. Take your time, nothing to do. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time, and love to all. Bye.